Welcome to Kozversations, where your host, Carl Kozlowski, talks with the world's most interesting people. And now, this week's Kozversation. Greetings, Earthlings. Welcome to another edition of Kozversations, where we bring you some of the most fascinating people from the worlds of pop culture, politics, and beyond. And coming to you from the luxurious studios of Radio Titans in Los Angeles, I'm your host, Carl Kozlowski. Today I'm excited to be bringing you one of America's most beloved comedic performers as well as most popular TV hosts around. His name is Howie Mandel, and you know him and love him all the way back from his debut in acting on the timeless classic St. Elsewhere in the 80s on NBC. He went on to win an Emmy as the best host for game shows in Deal or No Deal, the popular game show that he ran for several seasons. And the last few years, he's been one of the judges on America's Got Talent, the number one show every summer. And he's also still performing at clubs all over the nation. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring you Howie Mandel. All right, so thanks for taking the time, Howie. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
Yeah, so you're about to be smack in the middle of, or maybe you're already taping the new season of America's Got Talent. What sort of, if you've done some of the tapings already, what are in a broad sense?
We're right in the heart of Pasadena right now in a pool of talent. Yes, this is season 13.
Wow.
Lucky season 13. And it never ceases to amaze me. Just when I think I've seen everything there is to see, I find out that I ain't seen nothing yet. And we came off a record-breaking season 12 as far as, ratings and talent and voting numbers. And this season already is shaping up to be at least as good, if not better than last.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. So I guess, how did you come to be involved with the show? I mean, how many seasons have you been on now? I forget.
How did I get on it?
Yeah,
I just got asked.
Well, no, what I mean
I've been watching it since day one. I'm a huge fan of AGT, regardless of being on it or not on it. And then in season 4, I just, I've had a long-lasting relationship with NBC through, Deal or No Deal and St. Elsewhere and many other shows. How We Do It that I've done. I've done. If there's one network where I've done more work than any other network, it's probably NBC. And they asked me would I be interested in judging, and I said deal. No pun intended.
Well, so I mean, what do you think is the special appeal of this show? Because so many reality competition shows come and go.
I think it's many things. I think number one, television comes from vaudeville, which is virtually just a variety show, and we are the biggest variety show on television right now, where if what you're watching does not appeal to you, you wait 30 seconds and there'll be something that does, whether it's music, whether it's something death-defying, whether it's something really kooky and you don't know. It's variety. There's something for everybody. But that aside, it's also you're watching dreams come true. You're watching people like you and me who have hopes and dreams. Their lives change right in front of us all just by appearing on the show. They don't necessarily have to win the show to change their lives. They have to appear on the show. And it's amazing, this plethora of talent that this world has. And, half of, as somebody once said, 99% of, making it is just showing up. And AGT is the place that one must show up.
Yeah, no kidding. So what do you think is the key to being a good judge for you?
The key to being a good judge? I don't know that there's a key as much as, I'm lucky enough, along with my cohorts, to have, I've been doing this for 40 years.
Sure.
And every one of, and Simon has been doing it probably almost as long, but he's he's a hit maker in music and international hit maker. And Heidi is not only an amazing model, she's a producer, she's a host, she's an entrepreneur and been in this for many years. And Mel had her own, success in music and hosting and television and forever. And I think that if you have that kind of history and you're aware of what it was and the ingredients that made it work for you, and you could start this on, other people who are just starting out and just being honest. And I think that's what you get from our show. You get an honest, reaction and opinion and constructive criticism.
Yeah.
Honest and real, just like the people who are on the stage. I think people relate to that.
And what do you think is the key to the great chemistry you guys have as judges?
I don't know that there is a key. Chemistry is something that's really lucky, and I feel like one of the luckiest guys in the world to be sitting on the stage, sharing the stage with my fellow judges and hosts, because we genuinely really like each other. We're 5 really different people and coming from 5 really different backgrounds, not only in the business but in life. And we just really enjoy ourselves and have spent time and laughs beyond the show. So we don't pretend that there's chemistry. We don't act like we like each other, and we're not afraid to disagree with each other and spend moments maybe not liking each other. It's just really real, and it sounds cliche, but it feels like a real family.
Okay. So, one thing I've always wondered is, you guys basically define summer television, I think, your show. Because you guys are always...
Say that again?
You guys basically define the summer TV season. Like everybody looks forward. They know that America's Got Talent is going to be the summer show. And it's always number 1 by a landslide. So, but I've always wondered, do you think that it could work any time of year, or is there some sort of secret behind it being the thing to do in summer?
Well, summer is a feel-good time, so kind of, in our show, it's the feel-good show, and the feel-good show on at the feel-good time works for us. But I think more importantly, it's really special. I think NBC has been really smart in not over, exposing it. A lot of shows are on in the summer, in the winter, in the fall, in the spring, and over and over and over again. And ultimately, everything and everybody can possibly wear out a welcome. And this has been a really special thing that they've taken great care of to, when it shows up, it is what it is, and then it's gone, and then it won't show up till that time again.
Gotcha. So, out of all the acts that you've seen over the years, is there any that stand out, as a favorite? And in general, what do you think makes a great act that stands out? Because there's so many people come in with talent, but what do you think is
what stands out?
Yeah.
Ultimately, and I always say the same thing, it's the element of surprise, and especially at this point in my career, if you could surprise me, or if all of a sudden something happens that isn't expected, or something happens that, and in any genre, whether it's music or whether it's comedy or whether it's a physical death-defying circus act or an animal act, if it's, you go, oh my God, I can't imagine that. First of all, number 1, I can't imagine how anybody even thought of that. So that's surprising, and that came out of nowhere. And then if they thought of that, that's not what I thought was going to happen. And so the element of surprise is probably the biggest, ingredient in what we look for. Ultimately, when you sit there for 14 hours a day and you're seeing act after act after act, you better kind of like, they talk about in business, you want to disrupt, you want to be different. How do you disrupt the judge's mind? By doing something they've never seen before in a way that's never been done before, by somebody doing something that doesn't look like that would be the person doing it.
Gotcha. So, as far as with this versus Deal or No Deal, that was also a phenomenon. Any favorite memories from Deal or No Deal, or is there any difference to doing what you do here versus what you do there? You know what I mean? Or is hosting
Any difference between Deal or?
Well, what I mean is
I don't really know that I understand the.
I'm sorry. I mean the creative, like when you like in your skill sets, or what you think. You know what? Because you were a great host with that. You were Emmy nominated or won the Emmy for that. Then for you know, versus being a judge on a panel. I mean, is there any different kind of mindset?
Well, you know, it kind of led to me being able to be the judge on the panel because Deal or No Deal was the first show that I was involved in where I could just be truly myself without trying to without worrying about the material that I was going to open with or close with, without worrying about editing. And what happened was when I went into Deal or No Deal, I thought, no, I'm going to be this really funny host. And as it turned out, empathy took over, and I didn't want to distract from anybody winning, you know, and changing their life. And kind of that informed what I do on AGT because I just am kind of real and I'm just myself, and I think everybody is themselves, and we all realize how important and what this moment means to anybody we're watching on stage in the same way as how important it was for somebody to possibly walk off the stage in Deal or No Deal with $1 million.
Yeah, gotcha. So then, as far as like your overall career, I mean, you're known primarily. You started out as a comic, and you still do that sometimes. I've seen you at the Comedy Store. In the past
I still do
so.
200 live dates a year.
Oh, really? Wow, I didn't realize that. Okay, gotcha. So, what do you think is what drove you into comedy, and what was your inspiration pursuing this as a career?
What is my what?
What led to you starting in comedy, and you know, what do you think has been the key to doing so well for so long at it? You know,
I feel like I'm really lucky, you know, and again, I'm one of those people like I talked about on our show where you just show up, and that's something that I keep doing and will never stop doing. Stand-up is the only thing that I do that allows me to have that immediate reaction and not have to worry about, you know, throwing commercial, editing myself, because obviously AGT, like Deal or No Deal, is a good family show. If you see that I'm playing in your town live, don't bring the kids to my stand-up show because I just don't. That's just my primal scream at the end of the day. But But that puts me in front of real people all over the real world. And when I say the real world, it's outside of New York and LA, like any other place. But you know, LA, and it's real people, and it kind of gives me a sense also, even as a judge, what people react to and what they're doing and what they find funny and what they relate to.
Well, and also, I mean, you acted on St. Elsewhere, one of the great shows ever. I mean, I grew up watching that as a teenager,
right.
And you know, you tend not to do as much acting anymore because you're booming with all this stuff. So, do you ever have a desire to go back to acting?
I'd love to do more. I'd love to do more. If you hear of any work, I'm available, and I'm with William Morris. So put that in the article.
Okay.
They can call William Morris.
All right.
And hire me.
And I guess the last thing, since we're limited on time for you, what if you could share with me?
Say that again.
I said, since I know I'm limited on time with you, I wanted to ask about, I guess, the one other project that really seems like it would be special to you is Bobby's World. Was wondering, how did that come about, and do you have any, you know, favorite memories of what you accomplished with that?
You know, Bobby's World was a voice that I was doing, and it was part of Bobby was a character that I was doing on stage, and it was part of an adult nightclub act. And then my friends who were from Second City got a development deal at Fox Children's Network and said we should do a Saturday morning cartoon with that character. So I went in and developed it, never dreaming that I could do a Saturday morning cartoon. But then we took all the real stories that either happened to us growing up or was happening with our children as parents. And lo and behold, it ended up, you know, being a number-1 Saturday morning cartoon for Fox and ending up in 65 countries in syndication. And at this time, I'm talking about I would love to try to relaunch it.
Oh, that's great. Okay. Well, hey, Howie, I want to say thanks for taking the time, and look forward to all the craziness that'll come out this coming summer.
Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Talk to you later.
Take care.